going to do the roll call and establish a quorum. Mr. Orlando Lopez, Board President. Dr. Ariel Cruz, Board Vice President, present. Rudy Corona, Board Secretary.
Present.
Frutoso Gomez. Oscar Medrano.
Present.
Alex Reina. Mario Silva.
Present.
Alfredo Perez.
Present.
And Tony Torres. At this time, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. If everybody can please stand up and remain standing for both things. For the Pledge of Allegiance today, from Fred Booth Elementary, we have Miss Julissa Galvan. Julissa Galvan is the daughter of Maria Martinez and Omar Galvan. She is 11 years old and is a 5th grade student at Fred Booth Elementary. Julissa is a member of the National Elementary Honor Society, a Fred Booth Dazzler, and she placed 3rd in the San Benito CISD Spelling Bee. She joined the Blankets for Chemo Drive by contributing blankets to Texas Oncology in Harlingen, took part in the canned food drive by donating to the San Benito Food Pantry, and also participated in the Christmas Toy Drive, providing toys for Harlingen Pediatric Associates. Julissa loves reading with a particular fondness for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. In her free time, she enjoys drawing and painting as her hobbies. Tonight's invocation will be Miss Naomi Rivera. Naomi Rivera is 11 years old and is a 5th grade student at Fred Booth Elementary. She is the daughter of Jennifer and Juan Rivera. Naomi is the National Elementary Honor Society, a Fred Booth soccer player, and a member of her campus's Kids News Network. She took part in Blankets for Chemo Drive with Texas Oncology in Harlingen, contributed to the canned food drive for the San Benito Food Pantry, and participated in donating toys to the Christmas Toy Drive for Harlingen Pediatrics Associates. Her hobbies are playing soccer and enjoying time with her dogs, Nala, Simba, and Shelby. Okay, take it away, girls.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated.
If everybody can just remain standing.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support for this meeting. Help the school board and superintendent engage in meaningful discussion. Allow them to work together and nurture the bonds of community. Fill them with your grace, Lord God, as they make decisions that might affect the students, staff, and faculty for the San Benito Consolidated School District. May their efforts be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom for all. Heavenly Father, I ask that you continue to help them as they make decisions for the students and staff. I ask these things in your name. Amen.
Everybody can be seated. Girls, if you can come up and for a picture. And then I'd also ask for the parents of the 2 girls to stand up to be recognized. Also, will the principal for Fred Booth please stand up to be recognized? Ms. Okumaris. For special recognition, we'll have Mr. Luis Gonzalez come up and to begin our special recognition process.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, parents and families. Bienvenidos a todos los que están aquí festejando con sus hijos hoy. Today is a great day, especially prideful day for us as educators, because these are the moments that we appreciate and want to respect our students for the great job that they're doing in any of these activities that they participate in. If you look in the back of the room, the vision of the vision statement of our district is we are the gold standard in all areas of public education, and this is a great example of just that. Students doing excellent job in all the areas we're going to present today. So today, if we can have our Director of Bands, our District Director of Bands, Mr. Dairi Mendoza, please join us as he presents the awards for the music program.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Our Superintendent, Mr. Perez, and members of the school board, thank you so much for the opportunity for us to do that. And of course, all of the parents who are here this evening. This is obviously my favorite part of the year when I get to boast a little bit about the accomplishments of some of our students and things that are going on throughout the district. We have some presentations for you guys today. We're going to introduce to you our middle school students who compete in the all-region process. And we're going to name them one by one, but we're also going to introduce their teachers as well. And let's go ahead and get going. We're going to start off with our Berta Cavazza students. And we had 4 from Berta Cavazza. And the first one that we want to introduce to you is Mr. Jose Barbosa. He's an 8th grader. Up next, we have Ms. Rebecca Herrera, who actually, this is the second time that she makes the all-region band. Congratulations. Up next, we have Mr. Derek Jimenez. And our last student for Berta Cavazza is Samuel Vento. Obviously, this is a team effort, so we want to also take an opportunity to introduce the teachers from Berta Cavazza Middle School. And the teacher of brass there is Mr. James Pence, who's also the head director of Berta Cavazza Middle School. And then our percussion teacher is Mr. David Jimenez. So we're going to continue with our students. And from Miller Jordan, we're going to introduce, the first one is Victoria Leos, 8th grader. And then we have another student who has made it in the past, and this is the second time he makes the all-region band, and he is Brandon Lopez. We're going to also take an opportunity to introduce the teachers from Miller Jordan. The head band director from Miller Jordan and the teacher of the woodwinds is Mr. Alejandro Martinez, and he's with us this afternoon. And welcoming him to our staff, we also have one of our newest staff members to San Benito CISD, which is Mr. Cesar Quintanilla. Very happy to have him. Teaches brass. And we also moving on to our Riverside students. And the first one we're introducing to you is Mr. Gilberto de Leon, also 8th grader. Up next, we have Mr. Jesus Martinez, also an 8th grader from Riverside. And we also have, from Riverside, our last student to introduce is Mr. Jose Rosas, Jr. Jose Rosas, Jr. We also want to take an opportunity to introduce the band directors from Riverside who work with our students. And our head band director from there is Mr. Raul Garza, who teaches percussion. Our brass teacher is Mr. Manuel Cerda. And last but not least is our woodwind teacher, Ms. Barbara Tapia. Just to clarify, the all-region band, the Region 28 band is basically all of the middle schools all the way from Brownsville, all the way to Donna, and hundreds of students compete to be in these ensembles. And, most notable, sometimes our percussion only takes about 16 or 20 spots, but it's 140 kids that actually try out for those spots. So you can imagine all the effort that has to go into it. Our kids have put in a lot of hours of time and effort, the teachers and the students, from the summer band camps that we have all the way until the tryouts happen. And then those students that did achieve the honor of being called an all-region band member performed a concert at the Harlingen Pack this past January. So a huge round of applause for our students, but at the same time, I want to say thank you so much for your parents. La educación comienza en la casa. Thank you so much for your support for our band students. We're going to take a little picture real quick, okay? Give us a second. I'm going to get out of the way to let the professionals work.
Stand to be recognized. Parents, please stand of these students.
Okay, up next, we're going to recognize our students who, from the high school band program that also competed in the region all-state process. And of course, our middle schoolers, all region is the highest honor available to them. But for high school, we have the all-state is the highest honor available to students on an individual basis. And we have students who reach the region level like our middle schoolers did, and then they advance to the area level and then eventually to the all-state level. So at the high school, we start recognizing them once they make the area level. So the first one we're going to introduce is going to be one of our juniors, and her name is Ms. Ruby Garcia, who is an all-area flute player. Up next, we have our drum major, Mr. Nathan Guerra, who is a horn player, and he also made area on the horn. Congratulations, Nathan. Not with us this evening due to a conflict of schedule. We have also one of our piccolo players who is a senior. She's not with us, but we're going to send our love anywhere, Miss Karina Luna. So congratulations to her. We had two piccolo players make the all-area band this year, and the second one is Italia Martinez, also a senior. We had a sophomore flute player make area, and is Mr. Joaquin Munoz. Moving on, aside from having the all-region on the classical side, we are very fortunate to have a very strong jazz program as well. So the next student made the area band, but through the jazz route. So this is Nicholas Torres on the tenor sax. Our next student is a junior, and he made the area band on two different routes. He actually made it on the classical side as well as on the jazz side. So he made area through 2 different routes at different times. So very, very proud of him. His name is Mr. Hector Villegas, and he is a junior. Congratulations, Hector. And the last student we're going to recognize is our all-state jazz bass trombonist. Let me tell you about this student. This is the fourth time that he makes the all-state band. He's made it as a freshman all the way through senior. The first 3 years, he made it on the classical route as a bass trombonist. And this year, he tried out through the jazz. So he actually made area both on jazz and on classical. But once he advanced into the state level, on one or the other ones, you have to pick. So he already made jazz all state. He just stays there. And then another trombone player gets an opportunity to advance. So this is our fourth time all-state bass trombonist. And this year on jazz, Mr. Jorge Segura. We also want to take an opportunity to recognize the teachers that spend endless hours working with our students on these very, very difficult tasks. And we have our flute teacher, Ms. Dulce Rodriguez, who's also the head director of VMA. Our clarinet teacher is Mr. Rafael Garcia. He's with us this afternoon. And our saxophone teacher, he also the color guard teacher, Mr. Julio Barrera. Our next teacher, Mr. Arturo Rivas, teaches the low brass, and he is also one of the 2 jazz teachers that we have in our program. He's Arturo Rivas. Next, we have Mr. Noe Garcia, who teaches our high brass students. And our next teacher is a percussion teacher, but he also co-teaches the jazz program with Mr. Rivas, and this is Mr. Jorge Mujica. So these are 2024 All-State Band area students. Congratulations to them, and thank you so much, parents, for your continued support, as we mentioned earlier. Huge round of applause for our kiddos.
If we could have the parents please stand, the parents and families please stand to be recognized for your support of these students. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza, for those presentations, and good luck to all the band students this coming year, and of course for next year. At this time, we want to recognize another award-winning program in our district that has been around for many years, and that is our award-winning chess program. And so we are going to have Ms. Jessica Diaz, who is going to present the individual awards that were awarded at the 2024 Regional Chess Championships just recently, and also the teams that were awarded at that time too. So, Ms. Jessica, please come front. I'll give out the certificates.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jessica Diaz. I'm a family engagement specialist with the After School Program Department, and we're going to recognize our chess students, individual awards in our K1 division. In 29th place, we have Ezekiel J. Gonzalez, Kinder, Dr. Cash Elementary. In our primary JV division, in 8th place, Victoria Para, 3rd grade, Ed Downs Fine Arts Academy, Principal, Mr. Laralde, Site Coordinator, Grace Covarrubias. In our primary championship, we have in 17th place, Roberto J. Chavez, 2nd grade, La Encantada Elementary. In 22nd place, we have Isaiah T. Villalobos, 3rd grade, STEAM Academy. In 30th place, we have Ronaldo R. Patino, 3rd grade, La Encantada Elementary. In our elementary championship division, in 12th place, Victor S. Lara, 5th grade, La Encantada Elementary. In 13th place, Antonio Briceño, 5th grade, STEAM Academy. In our middle school championship division, in 13th place, Sebastian H. Saldivar, 7th grade, Berta Cavazza Middle School. In 15th place, we have Jacob A. Montoya, 8th grade, Berta Cavazza Middle School. In 21st place, Gabriel Dominguez, 6th grade, Collegiate Academy. In our middle school JV division, in 11th place, Ethan Alorza, 7th grade, Riverside Middle School. In our high school championship division, in 5th place, Anthony Gamba, 10th grade, San Benito High School. In 10th place, Angel M. Para, 9th grade, Veterans Memorial Academy. And in 17th place, Christian R. Gomez, 9th grade, Veterans Memorial Academy. Now we're going to recognize our team awards. Also, our director, Mrs. Nancy Casas, is right over here. In our primary championship division, in 7th place, La Encantada Elementary, Principal Mrs. Garcia, Site Coordinator Rocio Rosas. In 11th place, Sullivan Environmental Science Academy, Principal Mrs. Atkinson, Site Coordinator Angel Reina. In 14th place, we have Dr. Garza, STEAM Academy. Principal, Mr. Monreal, Site Coordinator, Michelle Rodriguez. In 15th place, we have La Paloma Elementary. Principal, Dr. Gomez, Site Coordinator, Edna Gonzalez. In our elementary championship division, in 7th place, we have La Encantada Elementary. Principal, Mrs. Garcia, Site Coordinator, Rocio Rosas. In 8th place, we have Dr. Garza, STEAM Academy. Principal, Mr. Monreal, Site Coordinator, Michelle Rodriguez. In 13th place, we have Dr. C.M. Cash Elementary. Principal, Mrs. Araiza, Site Coordinator, Marlene Rodriguez. In 15th place, La Paloma Elementary, Principal Dr. Gomez, Site Coordinator Edna Gonzalez. We have our middle school championship division. In 7th place, Berta Cavazza Middle School, Principal Mr. Ibarra, Site Coordinator Sarayi Katache. In 11th place, we have Collegiate Academy, Principal Gracie Martinez, Site Coordinator Kimberly Cuellar. In 12th place, we have Miller Jordan Middle School, Principal Mr. Linus, Site Coordinator Abel Fonseca. In our high school championship division, in 6th place, we have San Benito High School, Principal Mrs. Lopez, Site Coordinator Cynthia Alvarez. And in 9th place, we have Veterans Memorial Academy, Principal Gracie Martinez, Site Coordinator Kimberly Cuellar.
At this time, if we could have the parents, the proud parents of all the students that are here today, please stand to be recognized for this proud achievement. You want to break it up? You want to break it up by elementary, secondary, or get it everybody? It's a good thing that we don't have enough space for all the awards, right? Outstanding. Thank you, students. Congratulations. At this time, I want to recognize Ms. Nancy Casas, our Director for After School Programs here in San Benito. Thank you, Ms. Casas, for everything you do. Counselors, we're going to give them certificates. Okay? So whoever wants to give them, we'll make sure that the names are correct. Oh, yes, yes. It's a good, one of the great programs we have in San Benito. Okay, we'll continue with our staff recognitions. This is a great moment also for San Benito CISD as we recognize those staff members that have contributed some great hours, their dedication throughout the whole year. National School Counselors Week 2024 was celebrated February 5th through the 9th. The week focused on the unique contribution of school counselors within the school systems across the country. National School Counselors Week highlights the tremendous impact school counselors have in helping students achieve school success up to graduation, as they also assist in planning for college, careers, and military service. Another important element of service is their contribution to the social and emotional learning of students during their school careers. The 2024 theme was School Counseling, Standards-Based, Student-Focused. San Benito CISD's Board of Trustees, Acting Superintendent Fred Perez, the entire district staff, and the community appreciate and thank our school counselors for their immense contribution to all of our students and their families. This is another example of the gold standard of service at San Benito CISD. We begin the recognition of our counselors with our San Benito High School counselors. We begin with Laura Jalomo Garza. Sarah Alonso. Santiago Bernal. Rene Cortez. Melissa Lopez. Rosa Vasquez. Lori Verduzco. Our next counselor is from Gateway to Graduation Academy, PRC, Crystal Cole. Serving at the Darrell Hester facility and the Amador Rodriguez facility is Veronica Guerra. Serving at Veterans Memorial Academy, we have Laura Schaefer and Jennifer Zavala. And serving as our counselor for special programs, we have Marco Perez. Our Verde Cavazos Middle School counselors include Nora Jalomo Cortez and Linda Ramos. Our Miller Jordan Middle School counselors include Jessica Aguilar and Monica Anaya. Representing Riverside Middle School counselors, we have Lilia Leal and Bernice Garza. Representing Angela G. Leal Elementary is Jacqueline Castaneda. Representing Dr. C.M. Cash Elementary, we have Araceli Vasquez and Uri Gracia. Representing Dr. Raul Garza STEAM Academy, we have Noemi Miranda. Representing Ed Downs Fine Arts Academy, we have Priscilla Silva Guajardo. Representing Frank Roberts Elementary, Alyssa Hernandez. Representing Fred Booth Elementary, Mario Flores. Representing La Encantada Elementary, Maria Tanya Paltan. Representing Judge Oscar de la Fuente Elementary, we have Todd Abraham. Representing La Paloma Elementary, Noemi Leal. Representing Rangerville Elementary, we have Lisa Casanova. Representing Sullivan Environmental Science Academy, we have Brandy Gonzalez. And representing Collegiate Academy, we have Lorena Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to our outstanding counselors from across the district. I do also want to mention our Director of Counseling is Mr. Eddie Sudis. So if Mr. Eddie Sudis is here, please stand. There he is. And we have many of our proud principals in the audience as well. Thank you, counselors, once again for everything you do every single day for our students. Next, in our staff representation, our staff recognitions, we have our Capturing Kids' Hearts Awards. Capturing Kids' Hearts is a district-wide initiative that contributes to the positive teaching and learning environment at San Benito CISD. 7 campuses have been nominated for the Capturing Kids' Hearts Showcase campuses for the 2023-2024 school year. All 7 campuses have implemented the program for at least 2 years. They have at least 70% of their campus trained in CKH1. They have been recommended by the campus strategist, completed their CKH mid-year leader, teacher, and student surveys, and have completed their CKH data forms. The final announcements will be made at the end of April. Our San Benito CISD's Board of Trustees, Acting Superintendent Fred Perez, the entire school staff, and the community congratulates these 7 campuses on these achievements in 23-24. Another example of the gold standard of service here at San Benito CISD. The following campuses have been nominated for these awards. Our first school to be recognized is Dr. Cash Elementary. Dr. Cash Elementary. Dr. Cash Elementary is represented by their staff members, Marlene Araiza. Their process champions are Patricia Alejandro, 4th grade teacher, and Araceli Vasquez, counselor. These are the nominees, one of the 7 nominees for the Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase School of San Benito. Please congratulate Dr. Cash Elementary. Yeah, we'll take a picture at the end. The next campus is Dr. Garza STEAM Academy, and their staff is Victor Morial, principal, process champions, Yesenia Peña Blanca, kindergarten teacher, Dulce Sosa, 1st grade teacher, Arlene Garza, 4th grade teacher, and Carla Molina, 4th grade teacher. Congratulations, Dr. Garza's STEAM Academy. Our third school nominated for this national award includes La Encantada Elementary. The team is Sylvia Garcia, principal, Ezequiel Rodriguez, assistant principal. Process champions are Maria Patlin and Elizabeth Leos. Our 4th campus nominated for this national award includes La Paloma Elementary. The principal is Dr. Lucas Gomez, and the process champions include Noemi Leal, counselor, Estela Jaramillo, pre-K teacher, Tammy Rodriguez, kindergarten teacher, and Elena Salinas, 1st grade teacher. Our 5th school nominated for this national award includes Judge Oscar de la Fuente Elementary. Principal is Mr. Ernesto Marriquez. Process champions are Todd Abraham, counselor, and Mel Sosa, PE teacher. Our sixth campus nominated for this national award is Rangerville Elementary. The principal is Julie Aguilera. Virginia Romero, assistant principal. Process champions are Leila Cifuentes, librarian. Jamie Luna, fine arts teacher. Brenda Gonzalez, RTI teacher. Jody Aparicio, pre-K teacher. And Alfonso de la Cruz, PE teacher. Another example of all the awards everyone's getting, right? We don't have enough room. Finally, our seventh school that will represent the national show as a showcase nominee is Sullivan Environmental Science Academy. The principal is Diana Atkinson, principal. Process champions are Brianne Castillo, kindergarten teacher. Danielle Contreras, first grade teacher. Michelle Ibarra, first grade teacher. The Capturing Kids' Hearts program is led district-wide by our professional development director, Ms. Stephanie Ramirez. Congratulations to all of our 7 nominees. We hope that when the awards are given at the end of April, San Benito CISD will be represented in that group. Congratulations and good luck. Yes. Individual? Okay. We'll start with the individual schools. We'll start with, oh. Okay. Okay. We'll reverse the order, the ones who waited last. Okay. So let's do Sullivan Elementary, Environmental Science Academy. We'll go first. Our next school will be Rangerville Elementary. Our next school will be Judge Oscar de la Fuente. Hey. Okay. Our next school, La Paloma Elementary. La Encantada Elementary. And next, the entire campus of Dr. Raul STEAM Academy. Okay. And Dr. C.M. Cash Elementary. Members of the board, Mr. Perez, that concludes our special recognitions for students and staff in our district. Another example of the gold standard here at San Benito CISD. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for those special recognitions. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public according to the following. At regular board meetings, the board shall permit public comment regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. At all other board meetings, public comment shall be limited to items on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. Anyone who would like to speak during public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the topics they want to discuss. An individual's public comment to the board shall not exceed 5 minutes per meeting. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. We ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own children. In addition, the participating individual shall adhere to the following. State their full name and what organization or group, if any, is being represented. Indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. Shall refrain from commenting directly on any individual employee or public official by name, but may refer to a specific employment area, job title, or the board as a whole, and shall refrain from attacks on individuals. Lastly, if after at least one warning from the presiding officer, any individual continues to disrupt the meeting by his or her words or actions, the presiding officer may request assistance from law enforcement officials to have the individual removed from the meeting. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGBA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or at the district central administration offices. Thank you. Our first speaker is Ms. Mary Maney.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz, Acting Superintendent Perez, Board President, board members, and community members. I do appreciate the chance to talk, and I will apologize. I would like to say thank you, Mr. Luis, for letting us know when National Security Officer and those things are, so you're sending it out on the emails so that we can actually have a chance to thank our staff members at the high school and at other places that are do this. We have so many national days, they kind of slip by, and it's kind of nice to be reminded so we can be thankful to them. I'm very glad to see the calendar is finally on the calendar to be approved for. I was part of the calendar committee. We worked really hard on trying to make sure that, you know, we had some more days off. So the Delta calendar with a mini October, mini February break, and preserving Super Bowl Monday and all of our holiday things was very nice. Also, thank you for finally getting some final answers on the waivers. We've been really concerned about that, and makes it really interesting, a little bit more peaceful for some of us to know that we actually can claim for the waivers. We have a lot of students that we recognize. We have a lot of students that have been going since I'm at the high school, a lot of people that have been making it into the Skills USA and the UIL competitions and all this. And we don't really, except for here and at the individual schools, we don't really recognize them as much as we probably need to, because our schools are fantastic. And we do support our kids very well. Our schools pull for each other and help each other. So just as the moment to be kind of thankful for all that we are doing to pull together, and thanks for helping support us to support the kids. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Meany. Our next individual for public comment is Ms. Rosalinda Garcia.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, staff, and community. At the last board meeting, the board secretary, who's also the chairman of the building committee, gave the most lame excuse why we are not, or they are not commenting on the halted bond construction. Failed construction to me. He went on to say the building committee meetings are closed to the public as per recommendation received from the former superintendent, Teresa Cervellon. Wrong, Mr. Board Trustee. If she did indeed make the recommendation, the board has the power to keep committee meetings open to the public. But I know why you prefer to have the door shut to the public. You also stated, Mr. Trustee, that the board is not withholding any information and is relying on advice from Counsel B. Salazar, which the previous administration hired. Again, lame statement, excuse, Mr. Trustee. You are pointing fingers and hiding behind that statement. I requested a copy of Mr. Salazar's contract. He was hired on a month-to-month basis back in April 2023. And Mr. Board President and Secretary, Board Trustee, you vowed to keep taxpayers updated on the district's biggest construction project. Wrong. You have failed to do so. April the 4th, 2023, you, Mr. Board President, state that we need to have architects and others to make a presentation to the district. Why? So we may hear what is going on, that we deserve to know. What is the difference now? The buildings have to be torn down? You will wait till after the elections to state something? And you also stated that the present board was led to believe from the previous administration that there were major issues with the buildings, and that was not the case. Wrong again. You're the ones that are misleading us, and I am not surprised that I have not read any comments from Ms. VP. She was certainly doing so when Ramiro Moreno was president. Another statement made from board president and secretary. I am committed to relaying as much information as possible so everyone knows the status of this building's triple wrong. Mr. Secretary Trustee, that prepared statement you read last month did not give us any information on the halted bond construction. It was just, again, blah, blah, blah. You could have been up front and said, Ms. Cervellon was right in halting the construction. There are serious problems with the petition, but no. Mr. Superintendent, with all due respect, you did state last meeting you were going to receive an update from Mr. Salazar within the next few days. If you did receive an update, did you share with the media? Post it on the internet? Something? Are we going to hear once again under the advice of legal counsel we have nothing to say? Lastly, good job on your hand gestures, Ms. Vice President. Notice at the last board meeting how you have to guide the superintendent and the board secretary, which began with, no, not yet. Continue, now you start. Can you believe we started this bond back in 2017? And I think the third and fourth graders might get to use the aquatics buildings if we get it built by the end of 2026. Maybe we'll get to use it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I need to correct you for the record. When you're going to come to public comment, you have to, if you're going to mention somebody's title, you got to mention correctly. It's acting superintendent, not superintendent. Thank you. So get it right. Get it right. Thank you.
Agenda item 4.1, Board of Trustee remarks. On behalf of the entire board, I would like to thank all of our district staff and personnel for all the hard work that they've been doing. We know that it's February and it's the second half of the year, and we have a lot of competitions that are coming up, and we know that everybody's working diligent to prepare students for these competitions while we have testing going on. Specifically, we'd like to recognize the ladies varsity basketball team who were by-district champions last week, and they had a great season this year. We'd also like to recognize all the Skills USA students that were competing this past weekend. We also have the San Benito FFA that competed at the Los Fresnos stock show. There you go. And then we have a lot of district students and personnel and teachers that were at TMEA a couple of weeks ago. We even had a presentation by our Berta Cavazza Middle School band director and the administrators there. Like earlier, we recognized a bunch of chess students. We recognized our Capturing Kid Heart students and staff. And it's just a great place to be learning here in San Benito CISD, and we can't do it without all of our staff and all of our students and parents and everybody involved. We recognize our counselors. We recognize our school resource officers. It's truly a great place to be here in San Benito CISD. And we'd like to thank our PR department for keeping us abreast with everything going on here in San Benito.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. I think, it's I think it's great for the board members to at least, every once in a while to have an opportunity to come out and say what they feel or what they see. And one thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this on a monthly basis. So every single board member up here will have a chance to acknowledge or just to have their a couple of minutes to say what they feel is important to them and what they see from the district. It's very obvious that we have a lot of great things going on in our district. There's a lot, the morale is extremely, to me, in my opinion, it's great. There's a lot of positive movement, and we're going to continue moving forward. And, we continue to put our best foot forward and continue to invest in the education of our kids. And you guys see that on a daily basis. So I just want each and every one of you out to know that we will continue moving this district forward in a positive manner, and we're going to work as a collective seven and with the superintendent at Tate, as acting superintendent at Tate. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of you all so very much for your patience during this process, and to just know that the board will support our staff and our kids and our community. So once again, take this opportunity for the rest of the board members to say a couple of words. Okay? Thank you.
We had decided
We had assigned
Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Cruz too.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Drum roll, drum roll.
This was amazing for me, and of course they had a presentation. All the teachers, thank you. Thank you, also Dr. Cash and Usakis. Please tell all your teachers, your staff, and I really appreciate it. It was promised, it's here. Okay? Thank you very much.
By the record, I got one too at Rangerville Elementary, just FYI.
Mr. Lopez, can I share a few words? Yes, I attended Ed Downs, and I would like for that mariachi group that you had to present to us one of these meetings, Mr. Lopez. They're awesome.
Yes, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for it. Yeah. No, we got, I mean, like I said, it's pretty cool for us sitting up here as board members when we go to the campuses and see what we see, and it's very heartwarming, as a parent of the school district, to see all the hard work that we don't normally see, but when you go out there and you see, the challenges that our staff faces and our administration and at the school level, it's pretty humbling, to say the least. I couldn't do it. I'll tell you that much. But, once again, this is a testament to all of us up here do see each and everything that you guys do on a daily basis when we're there. And it's just a very, very special moment for us to express that to you all, that we appreciate it and we do care. Okay? So we can't say it enough. I know we don't say it enough. Sometimes it's in and out, but at the end of the day, each one of us up here will have their moment to share that with you. And that's the reason why I felt it's important to put it up here so every board member can express themselves. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Mr. Lopez, so if is it okay with you for next month?
Absolutely,
Ed
sir.
Downs?
Yes, sir.
Get ready, brother.
Okay.
Next, we have the consent agenda for academic services. In order to promote efficient meetings, the board may act upon more than one item by a single vote through the use of consent agenda. Consent items placed on the agenda shall be marked with an asterisk. Consent items are items for which no board discussion is anticipated and for which the superintendent recommends approval. Prior to the time which approval of consent agenda is had, at the request of any member of the Board of Trustees, any item on the consent agenda shall be removed and given individual consideration. Consent agenda. 5.1, request approval of the Memorandum of Understanding between San Benito CISD and Texas State Technical College Migrant Academic Achievement Residential Summer Program for the 2023-2024 school year. Consent? Business and Finance. 6.1, request approval of cash account report for January 24. Consent? 6.2, request approval of comparison of revenue and expenditures to budget report for January 2024. Consent? Request approval of tax collection report for January 2024. Consent? Request approval of check disbursements for January 2024. Consent? Request approval of May 4th, 2024 order of election for the purpose of electing the Board of Trustees of the San Benito CISD members to fill place 1, place 2, and place 3. Consent?
What date was it? You mentioned it.
Request approval, I'll repeat myself. Request approval of May 4th, 2024 order of election for the purpose of electing the San Benito Board of Trustees of the San Benito CISD members to fill place 1, place 2, and place 3. Consent? Request approval of the notice of election polling sites for the May 4th, 2024 school board elections. Consent? Request approval of joint election resolution between San Benito CISD and the City of San Benito. Consent. Request approval of memorandum of agreement between San Benito CISD and Region 1 Ascender subscriptions. Consent. Request approval of engagement letter between San Benito CISD and Carr, Riggs & Ingram LLC as an extension of auditing services for 1 additional year. Consent. Request approval of gifts and bequests for the 2023-2024 school year. Consent. Request approval of budget amendments. Consent. Request approval regarding purchases over $50,000. Consent. Consent agenda for administration. Request approval of revisions to DNA local. Consent. Consent. Request approval of TASB policy update 122.
Question.
Request approval of board minutes. Consent. Okay. At this time, I'm requesting a motion to approve consent agenda items 5.1, 6.1 through 6.12, 7.1, and 7.3.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Orlando Lopez and a second by Mario Silva. All in favor? Passed. Going back to consent agenda item for administration 7.2, request approval of TASB policy update 122. Mr. Medrano?
I think, Mr. Perez, you had an update.
Yes, I believe, Mr. Gallegos, there was something that we added on the policy that we were going to discuss and possibly ask for more information.
Good evening, Board President Lopez, members of the board, and Acting Superintendent Mr. Perez. Yes, we added one last item to TASB's update 122, which includes a notice to policy DP local, which talks about the chaplains. Basically, the program is, if we do implement the program, you guys have 3 options. One is, if you do approve, one is to accept as employees or volunteers school chaplains. 2 is to allow school chaplains to serve as volunteers only. And then the third option is not to allow school chaplains as either employees or volunteers. If you do take the second option, again, the second option is to allow school chaplains to serve as volunteers only, then you have to approve board policy GKG local first and then vote on this action item. Now, there's a lot of confusion. There was some confusion regarding the counselors. They felt like if we approve this volunteer program, that they were going to be replaced by the chaplains. Absolutely not. They don't have the credentials. They have to have a master's degree in order to be a counselor. They have to be SPEC certified in order to be a counselor, and then have teaching experience. This would be completely separate. They will not be a replacement to the counselors.
So, in your recommendation, which one would it be that we don't disrupt anything?
Which one, in your recommendation, which one would be the one that you would recommend that we would go with without disrupting anything, just leaving as is?
So if you don't disrupt anything, you can allow the program. We create a criteria for the program, but like I said, it would not disrupt the counselors. We will still have the group of counselors. Like I said, they have certain credentials that these employees or these volunteers will not be able to meet.
Mr. Gallegos, when is your deadline to submit it?
The deadline will be March 1st.
March 1st, okay.
Sir, have we, maybe I missed it, but have we spoken to our staff about that, or our campus leaders and our counselors about this whole scenario?
No, sir.
Mr. Petty, do you think we should, I think we should table it and have a
special board meeting?
Yeah, we can have a special board meeting on it later, but I think it's important to have our staff have an input so we can have a criteria and see exactly what they're going to be doing and not be doing, so there won't be any confusion. And that's not just throw it on them and then.
Mr. Gallegos, we can pass update 122 and then have a special meeting, correct?
Tony?
Yes. Okay.
When's the deadline?
March 1st.
March 1st. Table.
Okay, so the motion right now is to.
Okay, we can approve it. Yeah, we.
I move to go ahead and pass update 122 and have a special meeting to discuss the other item.
I agree with.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Oscar Medrano and second by Mr. Rudy Corona. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you, please.
Okay. The next agenda item is agenda item 8.1, discussion and consideration and possible approval of fencing project district-wide. Mr. Flores.
Give us good news, Mr. Flores.
I'm coming for more money. No, I actually really do have good news. Well, first off, good evening, Board President Lopez, Board of Trustees, and Acting Superintendent Mr. Perez. I do have good news. We had actually applied for a grant for school safety. That grant is called the SAFE Grant. Our district was awarded $4.9 million for school safety. So,
congratulations. Good job. Good job.
Thank you. So I'm telling you that we have some funding coming in. I'm also going to request some of that funding to come back this way. So as part is that we've been looking at the guidelines for the SAFE grant, which Mr. Perez and I have reviewed. There are some things that we need to look at. For the most part, we are way ahead of the guidelines that the state is requiring. Right now, with our biggest project, we're finalizing with phase 3 of our access cards, and then we are now proceeding into a new phase. So in this case, we are looking at the fencing projects. We're requesting to be awarded to be able to do some of the fencing projects for some of our campuses. Currently, right now, some of the campuses that we have listed as new fencing, Riverside, Fred Booth, Ed Downs, Miller Jordan, Dr. Garza, La Encantada, Frank Roberts, AGL for phase 2, and some panic egress and some extra fencing materials to fix existing fencing. Currently, right now, what we're looking at and what I'm requesting is about $351,000 to do the fencing updates that we need to. Some of these items that we're looking at is to try to we already have an established perimeter fencing, but I'd like to try to get a lot more of the fencing closer to the schools, compound that with the forced entry resistant foam that we've talked about and got approved as well.
Mr. Flores, in your opinion, how much percentage of safety is in our district?
I would say 100%. I mean,
100%?
we focus on.
Just want to make sure.
We focus on 100% of safety, and it's when we talk about the gold standard, and as we've repeated time and time here in the board meetings, we've had chief of police that have come back and told us that what we are doing here in the district on the safety measures that we've implemented are far exceeding other surrounding school districts. With our own police departments, which I have to applaud our police departments, our school police and security do an excellent job in keeping our students safe and our staff safe. We just come in here and do some of the other little things to be able to help them out to keep our students safe and our staff safe.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Flores, I've got to say on behalf of all of us, to have a position dedicated solely to safety here in our school district is something that we often overlook, and we appreciate all the hard work that you do along with Chief Sosa, along with Mr. Saldana, making sure our buildings are safe, making sure we all have access to those, not us, but the staff has access to those magnetic door openers. I've gotten so many compliments from people in the community just about how safe our schools are, and that's a testament to you and the staff that we have.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how you can spend the $4.9 million. I'm just kidding.
We'll be coming back for a little more fencing, but I'll leave that for later.
Honestly, Mr. Flores, I think there's no number for safety.
For safety.
4.9, I can say 20 million, 30 million.
Correct.
Let's just keep our kids safe as possible and keep trying. You're doing a good job.
Thank you. I totally agree. Our focus is we do look at the academics, and that is the basis of why we are here as educators. And it's unfortunate that we've had some terrible tragedies that have taken place. And as a direct result of that, it is making sure that our parents and our community understand the importance of safety for our district and making sure that our kids are here to do what they are needing to do, which is learn. We're just making sure that they have an all-around safe environment for that to happen.
Let's keep getting those safety, of course, the grants, but the meetings going. Yes, I think we need to get more law enforcement involved. I
Yes,
know
sir.
you do it every couple of months, but I think we need to make it more, at least once or twice a month.
Yes, sir. We have frequent meetings with our local city PD, our Cameron County Emergency. We just had a meeting, Chief Sosa and I just had a meeting with FBI agents, or one agent in particular, but they are looking at coming down again. They will be part of our school safety committee as well. So that extended invite was extended. So not only do we have federal law enforcement representing our district here for safety reasons, but we also have local individuals as well.
I think it's very important to get our administrators, at least from each campus, also to get involved in these meetings, because they're the ones that they're going to have more information about their campus, and I think it's very important if it's possible, we can have all these administrators, at least from each campus, to attend those meetings.
Yes, sir.
If it's possible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Perez.
I also
Thank you.
wanted to add,
Thank you, sir.
with this grant, we're going to be able to reclassify, since we've been so proactive the last year with everything that we've used local funds. So with the grant, we'll be able to reclassify about $600,000 back into our local account. So that's a great thing.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the fencing project district-wide.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Mario Silva and a second by Mr. Oscar Medrano. All those in favor? Motion passed. Next, we have 8.2, discussion, consideration, possible approval of the school calendar for the 2024-2025 school year. Mr. Gonzalez?
Dr. Cruz and members of the Board of Trustees, Acting Superintendent Mr. Fred Bettis, and administration and the general public watching us today. Today I'm going to present the results of our 2024-2025 instructional calendar, and these are the results of the voting that was took place across the district, and it included all of our district, all of our employees. And so in the district we have approximately 1,550 members of our team. And so we did give everybody the opportunity to vote. We do two forms of voting. We do a Google survey, which is linked to their email address. So that way it's quick, easy, and they can see the information there. But we also provide a manual voting process for those that may need that kind of voting for them. So we make them available to them. The initial, what I want to share first is the calendar is a long process, and it's the work of people from across the district. It's mainly teachers that we take from the SAC, the Student Superintendent's Advisory Committee, and we take members of that committee and we come together and we start organizing, looking at calendar options. We tend to look at area school districts, if they may have options out there. We take current calendars that we have in our district as well, and then we start planning. It's like a layering effect. You have to look at the major dates, especially the holidays, but also the more important thing we look at is testing. So those are layered, and then after that we start looking at what we have available to us. And so it's kind of like a tight schedule that we have, that we can only do so many things in so many days in the calendar months. And so that's where we start looking at the processes and looking at some of the things we wish lists that we have from our colleagues from across the district. So it is a committee that does give the three options to our voters, to our staff to vote on. And so in December, we presented the three options that were created by the committee, and no calendar had a 50% margin, so we decided to re-vote on the top two calendar options, and those took place in the later part of January and the early part of February. We gave staff about 3 weeks to vote on either the Google form or on manual voting for some of our departments. And so the results are here in front of you. We do have the two calendars that were vying for the calendar to be chosen was what we refer to as the Gamma calendar, and that is the calendar that was popular because it had a 1 full week break in October. That tends to be a trend across the state and across the Rio Grande Valley. Some districts are looking at having a fall break, a complete week off. So that was one of the calendars. That's what we refer to as the Gamma calendar. The Delta calendar split those days into 2 different breaks. We provided 2 mini breaks, one in October, which gave us a Thursday, Friday, and a Monday combination in October, and it also gave us another one in February. And so that gave us the opportunity for staff to look at whether they wanted one or the other. And so the results were as follows. On Google Voting, for Gamma, we had 390 votes cast. On the Delta option, we had 469 votes. The manual voting, 86, was for the Gamma calendar, and the Delta calendar was 101 votes there. The total with Gamma was 476. The Delta was 570, which became the popular winner. District-wide, we had over 1,046 votes were cast for the district calendar. So we had about a 68% participation rate from our employees, which is a good sampling of voting for our calendars. So in front of you, you have the option that was provided in your board packet, and that is the final product that we're recommending by popular vote is the Delta calendar. That is the one, everything is similar to both except for the mini breaks, which we do have in October, which would be a weather makeup day, the Friday, and then the 14th, which is a national holiday. Then February, we have the weather makeup day, a Friday, and then the ever popular Super Bowl Monday. So that includes that long break for those options. Everything else there is self-explanatory unless you have questions on the calendar itself.
You mean weather makeup day for Super Bowl?
Weather makeup day was actually a Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, okay.
And the actual Super Bowl Monday is a holiday now. You know, San Diego CISD was one of the first ones in the entire valley to do that, like 15, 18 years ago when I was here a long time. And so we were one of the first ones, and now every district is starting to pick up on Super Bowl Monday.
And 2025 will be the Dallas Cowboys year.
Let's hope. Although I was cheering for the 49ers this year. Anyway, so the calendar you have in front of you is the one by popular vote that we are recommending for your approval. Do you have any questions on it or anything specific?
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for what you do, and this vote comes in handy, and I appreciate you doing this for us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I guess the decision's already made, right? We can't go against staff.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the. Oh, is it the Delta or the Gamma?
No,
Delta.
The one in the blue.
The blue calendar.
So move.
Second. Okay. I've got a motion by Mr. Oscar Medrano and a second by Mr. Orlando Lopez. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you so much. Next, we move on to the closed meeting. In accordance with Texas Government Code, the board may move into closed session for the following reasons. Section 551071, for the purpose of a private consultation with the board's attorney on any or all subjects or matters authorized by law. Section 551072, deliberations about real property. Section 551074, for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. Section 551082, a board is not required to conduct an open meeting to deliberate in a case in which a complaint or charge is brought against a district employee by another employee, and that complaint or charge directly results in the need for a hearing. However, board may not conduct a closed meeting for this purpose if the employee against whom the complaint or charge is brought makes a written request for an open hearing. It is 6:55, and we are moving into closed session. Reconvene into open session. It's 8:25. Action item 10.1, reconvene into open session and possible action on matters considered in closed session if necessary. 10.2, employment, resignation, retirements, and terminations. Mr. Perez.
I ask the board to approve as discussed in executive session, employment, resignation, and retirements, and terminations.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Rolando Lopez, second by Oscar Medrano. All those in favor? 10.3, discussion and consideration to approve probationary contracts for administrators for the 2023-2024 school year. Mr. Perez.
Also, as discussed in executive session, I ask the board to approve discussion and consideration of the approval of probationary contracts for administrator.
So move.
I have a motion from Mr. Medrano and a second by Mr. Mario Silva. All those in favor? There will be no action on agenda item 10.4, discussion and possible action regarding grievance level 3 PR. Agenda item 10.5, discussion and possible action regarding level 3, grievance level 3 JH.
So move.
No, I mean, so we have to make an action.
I'm sorry, make an action at this time. We're not going to make a decision.
Okay, so we have a motion to table by Mr. Rudy Corona.
Have a second.
Second by Mr. Orlando Lopez. All those in favor? And action agenda item 10.6, discussion and possible action on legal update of Natatorium and Performing Arts Center. At this time, there's no action on agenda item 10.6. Okay, now I'm going to move to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
And a second? Second. I have a motion by Mr. Orlando Lopez and a second by Oscar Medrano. It is 8:27 and this meeting is adjourned.